Hey guys, just a quick guide on how to set yourself up as an elemental shaman for Terros in the Vault of the Incarnates raid on all difficulties. I know you might be thinking Terros, that is the easiest boss in there in terms of how to set yourself up, and you would be right, but there's a couple things we can do to optimize our movement so we can get better uptime on the boss and not lose as much to like moving around and fumbling trying to get our instant cast spells off. So with that being said, we're going to start off in normal and heroic, and then we'll move on to mythic, because I use my Spirit Walker's Grace a little bit differently on mythic, but we're going to go ahead and start with the normal and heroic first. All right, so here we are in heroic Terros, and the first thing I want to point out is that as often as possible, you want to be planting your feet and trying not to move. But obviously we'll have to move sometimes, but try not to do any kind of unnecessary movement, but sometimes you will have to move. So right here, as often as possible, anytime you get or have instant cast spells and you need to move, try to use them to then move out and like readjust yourself. So you notice right there, as I keep pausing it, I have this lava burst, and as these puddles come out, I use the lava burst, I take a step forward, and then immediately plant my feet. Just a small movement, and I lose no uptime because that lava surge made that lava burst instant cast. So I lose no uptime whatsoever from just taking that step forward. Just a small step, that's all you need sometimes to get out of those type of mechanics. So the next thing that I'm going to point out is that how I handle this rock blast right here. So I want to be able to move out of it after it goes off. So I'm going to go ahead and start casting this Ice Fury because I have no instant cast to use, and Ice Fury will help with movement a little bit. But I do get a Lava Surge right at the end, which will be the first thing I cast. So this kind of happens really quickly. I recognize the fact that I have a Lava Surge and I've just finished casting my Ice Fury. Rock Blast is going to go off. So as soon as this Ice Fury ends, I'm going to cast that Lava Burst, start moving out, use a Frost Shock, and then plant my feet and start casting again. And as soon as the Aftershock goes away, I'll move back in with this next Lava Burst that I used instant cast again. One more Frost Shock, and now I'm back to where I was before. So I know that's a lot to kind of break down in like a 5-second window, but every time I moved right there was during an instant cast. So try to set yourself up as often as you can with those instant casts so you can always be casting something when you need to move. Now right here, I started greeting this lava burst, and what you could have done and what maybe would have been safer would be to just cancel the lava burst and just run out, because by the time I finish casting this lava burst, I'm not going to have enough time to run out. But fortunately, another movement ability that we have is our wind gust, or gust of wind, which is all I'm going to do as soon as I finish this lava burst. I'm going to turn, use my gust of wind, and look, I'm right where I need to be. That does eat up a GCD, so that is one period of time where you're not casting anything, but that would have been a lot faster than me trying to just run out of it. And now I can use my primordial wave and my the lava surge that it generated to run back in. Again, just trying to optimize my movement as much as I possibly can. And now here, in the next 5 seconds here, this is how I use my Spirit Walker's Grace, at least for normal and heroic, is as this annihilation goes out, I can just activate the Spirit Walker's Grace, which you can cast while you're casting another spell. You don't have to cancel anything for it. And then I can just walk on over to the next spot without losing any kind of uptime at all. And like it lasts for a good amount of time. So you can even readjust in here if you get any of these pillars on you. I didn't for this. And then here, this another rock blast, and I can use a lava surge, and then, yeah, just a lava surge. That's all it took to come out and then move back in again. So that's just a nice little clip to kind of like look at how many different times I used instant cast spells to optimize that movement and not try to just cancel everything and run, which you should do if you're uncomfortable with the fight. But as often as possible, you really want to be trying to use those instant cast spells to reposition yourself. Try to set yourself up early with the Ice Fury so you have access to those Frost Shocks that are going to do more damage, and then position yourself in a way that you're never losing uptime on the boss. So hopefully that was helpful for normal and heroic. Just a small variation that I want to show now for mythic. Everything here is still, viable for mythic as well, but I do use my Spirit Walker's Grace slightly differently in mythic because of our strat. So I'll go ahead and show that to you now. All right, so I could have said this on normal and heroic as well, but Definitely on Mythic, I try to use my Spirit Walker's Grace right away because there's so much movement that happens and it's all during Bloodlust. So we really want to optimize as much uptime as we can because we got to soak that puddle, and then as a ranged, I need to get into the back and spread out a little bit. So that's just a whole bunch of movement that I need to be able to do, and I don't want to lose that uptime on our Bloodlust. So that's what I do right off the bat. And again, you can do that on Heroic and Normal as well. And then the next time I'm going to be using it is during the next Annihilation. So I'll move over here to where it's coming out. So when Annihilation comes out, I try to stay in the back, even though most people are going to be trying to group up here. We have a secret weapon, which I've showed before, which is our Gust of Wind here. I'm going to finish my cast, use my Gust of Wind to jump over to the lock gate, use the lock gate from there, and now I'm stacked up with everyone else. And this is where I'm going to use my Spirit Walker's Grace, because we have Infused Fallout, we have Rock Blast, and we have people with Pillars all happening at the exact same time. And the way that my guild handles this is we're all going to stack up, we're all going to clear our Infused Fallout all in one place, and then immediately walk out. So I'll go ahead and start showing it now instead of just talking. We're going to all immediately walk out after we've cleared our Infused Earth. So we've got this dangerous puddle right here. And now the Rock Blast comes out. And if I had a puddle, I would have needed to move back over to the left here. But then also right after this Rock Slam comes out, I need to now get out of melee. I need to go all the way into the back to give the melee people some space. So that's just a ton of movement that has to happen in a very short window, where it's going to be really hard to optimize instant cast spells, and Spirit Walker's Grace will just completely clear that. You don't have to worry about anything. You get to use all of your abilities and have 100% uptime on the boss the entire time. So those are the two main points I wanted to add about Mythic specifically. That might change based on your guild's specific strat, but that's been what works for us, and because of that, that's when I use my Spirit Walker's Grace. So hopefully this was helpful, just optimizing movement. Make sure you're not canceling your cast. Really try to avoid that. Try to set yourself up so you already know what you're going to be doing next, and using those instant cast spells or Spirit Walker's Grace to really help you keep your uptime close to 100%, or as close as you possibly can. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments down below. I stream at twitch.tv/Ridmark, so feel free to give me a follow there as well. And other than that, that's just about it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.